Hi, this is Annette and I am your empath astrologer, and I want to welcome you to Annette's Astrology Corner. So I have a lot going on and I kind of want to talk to you guys about it just because I'm going to be kind of unavailable until about after April 8th. And the reason why is because I'm kind of trying to ramp up everything so that I can start doing personal readings. One of the gauges that I pay attention to is people's requests. And if I get a lot of requests in a certain area, then I know where to steer, where the energy is steering you and steering me to guide you. And one of the things that I keep getting over and over again is the fact that everybody is wanting some one-on-one time with me, and I just don't have enough to give. Honestly, I didn't pre-plan any of this. I just thought I would put a few videos out and I would talk about astrology and it would be that way. Now I'm understanding the error of my ways because there's a lot more power to what I am than I realized. And the reason why I'm saying that is because that's what you all say to me. And so therefore, I have to realize that I must have a gift that I just didn't even know I had until I made a channel. So I really want to talk about this with you because I want to make my launch official on April 8th as far as in being able to provide one-on-one readings. I have a ton of requests, however, and so I will try to get to them. I just kind of want you guys to know that if I'm not answering all your comments like normal, or if I'm not getting to my emails quite as fast, it is because there's a lot going on behind the scenes. I am single. I'm alone doing this. I've never done a YouTube channel. And so I'm having to do kind of all this on my own. I am getting a lot of help from my viewers, which I truly and deeply appreciate. Suggestions, and just general ideas for how to develop my channel. And I really want my channel to be a community. I have a really cool idea. I want to run it by you guys. You guys can leave your input in comments because I read them. I try to read all of them and respond to everybody. But I think if you guys are supporting me, I should support you. Because without you, I'm not me as far as in my channel and what I'm trying to do here. So I am noticing that a lot of you are artists and writers, and you have websites that you're developing, and that you have a community that you're trying to build yourselves, and you're seeking guidance through astrology to see when the timing is right for everything. So here's what my suggestion is. I get a lot of views. I get a ton of views, and I get a lot more than I realize, and I get about 100 subscribers a day. That's what it's roughly turning out to be. So I want to help make you visible. My idea is, and you guys can tell me if it's a good idea or a bad idea because I really don't know that much about YouTube, but I want to take some, like an artist, and I want to put the work at the end of my videos, especially my viewer comment videos, because that's more geared toward my community. And I want to start debuting just different artists and different YouTubers on my site afterwards. Now, this is in no way, I am not going to be accepting any money to do this. I will profit from this in no way. I'm going to make that adamant, even though I've had some suggestions that people say that they will compensate me. I don't want to be compensated for encouraging growth in other people. I will be compensated when I'm doing readings just because they take so much of my time, and quite frankly, I literally don't have any time other than sleeping to myself at this point. So I think that that's okay. However, if I'm trying to help you guys out, I want it to be help and non, in a way that doesn't benefit me in any way. Because you guys help me every day. You encourage me every day. You're there for me all the time. This month has been one of the hardest months for me because I'm trying to be there for all of you, and yet all of this Pluto-Uranus energy was in Cancer, and so I did get some shocking developments in my life, and I had to cope, but be there for you as well. And March was the hardest month for me to do that because, I had experienced a great loss, and I'm really sad about it, but, I trust the energy in the universe, and I trust that there was a bigger purpose than I understand for what happened. And much like you, I'm in that state of confusion about what just happened, but we still got to trudge forward with all this energy in Aries, and we got to move on, and we've got to not let it take us down. And so that strength is there, yet there's some steam that's been taken out of my engine. And so I'm really trying to push forward with where I feel that the energy is guiding me. A lot of what resonates with me is where energy is and how I feel it directing me, because I'm an empath, but I'm intuitive, and I'm highly spiritual. So all of these things I do is based just on the way the energy directs me. I really enjoy tapping into the energies of the universe and of the planets and of the aspects in the sky, because they do help give me some sense of direction when right now there is no direction. Most of the primary people in my life have been dissolved, which has been strange for me. These have been people that have been in my life for 20 plus years, and they were dissolved. And I'm now realizing that those were karmic relationships and not so much the relationships that I had held dear. And so that reality has been very difficult for me to face, much like all of you. One thing that I'm noticing in all of my viewer comment videos and so many of your emails is that there were a lot of people that were in karmic relationships that were dissolved and ended abruptly, and that it changed the direction of our life and changed the direction of how we viewed love and changed the direction of how we viewed ourselves. And so we're at this point in our lives where we're redefining our lives, where we're restructuring everything, where we're having essentially identity crises. But there is energies at the same time pushing us in directions forward in positive ways. So we have this part of our life that has been broke down, and it has been tragic, and it has been beyond what we feel emotionally we can handle. But then we've got, and it's strange, it's just an equal energy pushing us in a direction, almost picking us up. The energy is almost dragging us up and saying, you can't fail, you can't stop now, you can't, this is the way it's got to be, and you got to move forward, and we don't got time to look back. Now, one of the things I want to emphasize, and I tried to make a video about it, but we will have time to rest, relax, and re-energize each category of our lives that have been broke down. And that'll be through the retrogrades that we're going to be going through for the next 6 months in personal planets. So don't worry about what happened or why it happened now. That this isn't the energy for that. March and April is not the energy for you to ponder on. Although Saturn is in retrograde, Saturn is in an area that is going to help fine-tune the direction we want, that the energies are pushing us to go. So really harness the energy that is current. Don't get stuck in the past, because that you can't harness energy effectively. And don't think too far in the future about what's coming. You guys are being stuck in what happened before the final Pluto-Uranus square, before the solar eclipse in Pisces in 29 degrees. You can't look back. That is past. It is done. It's over. It's our old self. It's not who we're gonna be moving forward. We are regenerating a whole new us, a whole new self. For those that have been awakened by this energy, for those of us that believe in a bigger picture out there, we are in an evolution of a new self. We are no longer going to get stuck in the material realm, in the collective thinking realm. We are now awakened to something more. What that something is, that's hard for us to define. That's hard for us to understand. We just woke up, you know? We don't understand everything. So the retrogrades that we're going to be experiencing in personal planets are going to help us understand the areas that were annihilated. Of course, I'm so dramatic because I'm a Leo. And then, of course, my emotional, whiny self is like, that was so hurtful. And I want to get stuck. I want to cry over spilled milk. I want the people back in my life that were taken away from me. I do. I want them back almost. There are some days it's so hard to be me. And I know it's so hard to be you because you just want that one person back that was taken away from you, that love that was lost, that relationship that ended, that work that provided you comfort, that relationship is gone. But you have to admit, if you're really, really honest with yourself and you stop getting stuck in self-pity, and if you stop getting hung up on the past, you have to admit you feel something is different in your life. You feel the energy has shifted, and you feel there's forward movement in an area of your life now that wasn't there before. If you're honest, if you want to be a victim, you can get hung up on the past, and you can get hung up on what could have and should have and would have been. And if that's where you want to be, you're not awakened yet. For those of you that have been awakened, you see that there's a larger purpose to all of this madness that just went on. You see that there is something more that you're meant to be, something more than you're meant to feel. At this point, you know this. But we're creatures of habit, so we want to hold on to what we ideally wanted. But the spirit, the universe, God, they all understand that if we're stuck with that limiting behavior, if we're stuck with that limiting job, in that limiting job, or if we're stuck in that relationship, we won't move forward. If you were stuck in a karmic relationship, you can't ever find your soulmate or your twin flame. You can't. So we all experienced these areas of our life that were highlighted. Now, I'm getting some comments from people that they're like, that was just the best month of my life. I don't know why everybody's so upset because I got this new job and I got this promotion and I got, I found somebody and I reconnected with an old flame and my life has turned out for the better. Good for you. Honest to God, then you're concentrating on everything you should be concentrating on, and the energy is working in your favor. I want you to be sensitive to the people who were holding on to things that they knew they shouldn't be holding on to. The people that had an awakening, the people that had things removed from them, the people that had loss, those people were holding on to things they knew they shouldn't be holding on to, but they couldn't let go. Because if they let go, that means they would have to move forward in a different direction. And they didn't want to move forward in a different direction. I know for me, I lost a karmic relationship. I could not have loved this person more. I just don't even think it's possible. I loved unconditionally. It didn't matter what this person did to me. I still hung in there, still loved this person unconditionally. It was a karmic relationship. It taught me, don't do that, to value myself more, to set a boundary, to set a limitation, to value what it's like to be just by myself versus be in a relationship that does not support my choices or does not support me or does not fully appreciate me, or for that matter, was even attracted to me half the time. I mean, I settled, and I knew I was settling. Toward the end, I knew I was settling, yet I couldn't let go. Yet the claws of my Cancer self would rather hold on to the destructive pattern that I was in rather than let it go. Because through pain, both of us will change. Both of my karmic relationship and I will change. We will change. We will manifest. We will become the people that will be beneficial for each other or for others. So I want you to understand the bigger picture in this. For those of you who are writing me and you're wanting some direction, and I'm trying to get to you, I really am. I want you guys to sit down and meditate every day. I want you guys to hone into energy. I want you to become familiar with yourself. Your body is a guide. Energy flows into us. It lets us know what's good and bad. If you're sitting there in victim mode, you're not doing it right. You're making poor choices and your body's telling you that it's not going the right way. If you're in a relationship where you're trying to choose between two people that you love and one is easier than the other, but you hesitate, that hesitation is spirit guiding you, is the universe guiding you. In the other direction. You have guides every day pointing you. I'll definitely be there one-on-one. I'm trying to shoot for the 8th so that we can talk and get to know each other. And if you need a hand to direct you, I want to be that hand because that's where the energies are directing me. So I'm here for you. But until then, until I can get to you, because I'm feeling bad that I have to disconnect to get to the next level to be there for you guys. But I need some time because, I'm burning out here. So I'm going to give you some definite guides to focus on. On my Facebook, if you just type in Annette Klein, you'll see my Facebook on there. I write when I'm feeling something, but I don't have time to make a video. I will write all of you some focus states, the energies to focus on, the things to do. I hadn't wanted to commit to all of this stuff yet, but I'm feeling like it's the time to start getting all of this in play. So I'm going to be listing all of my contact information at the bottom of this video. Finally, for all of you who've been asking me over and over again, please, we need some way to contact you. But just to let you know that you have a spiritual guide directing you every day other than me. It is your instinct. It's your feelings. For those of you that have a harder time tapping into your feelings than, like, let's say an empath does, or an intuitive, or a psychic, or a water energy, right now, Spirit's there for you. If you meditate, if you really, really let Spirit in, it is going to direct you in the way you should go. If you notice that a lot of people are coming down on you, don't turn to people right now. Everybody's a mess. Everybody is going through a personal struggle. It's easier for people to judge you than to deal with what they got going on with themselves. So if they're coming down on you about your choices and things that you're doing right now, don't let them. You're doing what's best for you. You're trying to figure out the chaos in the universe. You're trying to find your guides. I think the hardest thing to do when you've been awakened is to trust yourself, is to trust your guides, is to build your own guides, is to figure out where you're at in this energy, and how it's manifesting in your life, and how do you develop these relationships with your guides and your spirit if you haven't been a spiritual person per se until this point, until you went through this awakening, and now you're at that point where you're like, okay, I've been awakened and I have this, new understanding, but I don't know how to use this energy. That's what I'm going to try to do. So on my Facebook, when I put dates, I put a lot of thought and energy into this. I will be making videos in the future, but for now, I just can't get to it. But I am putting some dates on there. I will keep in touch with you guys, even though I'm going to kind of disconnect and start to hone things a little bit better for Annette's Astrology Corner, technically. And I really just want you guys to start trusting your instincts. It is time for you to build a relationship with your spiritual guides, for you to build relationship with energy, for you to take the time out of your day and meditate and let the energy fill you up and let it manifest in your spirit, in your soul, in your heart, because we have a lot of positive energy coming our way and a lot of personal growth if you do this right. If you do it right. So for now, I am going to list all my contact information. I am going to try to get done with my website. I am going to try to figure out everything that I need to figure out by the 8th. This is what I'm shooting for. I don't know how unrealistic it is because I'm an overachiever. And so I often will shoot for dates and never make them because, I don't know, probably my Gemini in me. Like my one twin's like, oh, we can totally do it. I got it. And the other twin's like, are you nuts? Like, you're never going to make that date. So I don't know how realistic my goals are. But I've been making a lot of positive forward movement in some areas that I was kind of putting off. One thing I want to touch on really quick before I'm done is fear. I am experiencing oodles of fear, tons of fear, fear of new, fear of opportunity, fear of putting myself out there, fear of making commitments. And I'm noticing that a lot of you are too. We want to hold on still to that self-destructive old self. We're so close to the time when we experience the breakdown that we're in that identity crisis, that we don't know what self to connect with. We don't even know who we are. We don't even know what we're going to be. So we're in a mode of fear. Fear is pumping through all of it. What we want to hold on is to the known. Even if it's dysfunctional, we're still emotionally holding on to the known because that is at least familiar, and nothing about life right now is familiar to anybody. It's certainly not to me. It's certainly not to all of you that write me. It's certainly not to all of you that email me. And it's certainly not to most of the people that I have been talking with. So we're all in change mode. We're all re-identifying ourselves. We're all manifesting a new beginning, a new us, a new generation of powerful, forward-thinking people. But we gotta know how to do that. Don't get lost in these energies. That's why I say meditate every day. Take a peaceful moment and let the energies fill in you and let them guide you, and start to get emotionally connected with your inner self, with your son, with your authentic self. Think about what you were like when you were a child. What really resonated with you when you were a kid? I'm not talking about crushes. I'm just talking about, like, what did it for you? Were you an artist, or did you always just walk around singing and dancing? That's the energy that I'm talking about tapping into right now, is all of that just quirky kid stuff you used to do, because that's when you were authentic. For me, it was, I would draw all the time. I would draw every day. I would read and I would perform. I was a huge performer. I would sing, dance, walk around, look at me. I was a typical little cute Leo, and I just wanted to perform all the time. And so, but what have I been fearing? Performing. What have I been fearing? Being noticed. What have I been fearing? compliments from people. Because this is all new to me, because I was a collective thinker before. I was programmed to think that what I was feeling at the time was okay. It wasn't. So I'm going to disconnect here for a little while. I will be trying to scan the comments. But I'm going to try to stay away from doing that because I'll be tempted to like be there for you, and I really want to get this up and running for you so we can have some one-on-one time that you guys have all been requesting. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you for supporting me. Thank you for directing me. You guys do not know that you are actually, Spirit is actually working through all of you for me. I think if it would have went as slow as I thought, my channel would not have blew up like this. I would have never thought of taking it in this direction. So Spirit has been working through every one of you that have left positive comments, every one of you that has directed me, every one of you that has encouraged me, every one of you that has contributed, made intros and arts and suggestions to me that have guided me. I'm not just an astrologer. I truly tap into Spirit, and most of my messages are, yes, astrology based, absolutely, but they are based on my abilities as an empath to talk to you. When Spirit fills me up, I know what subject to talk about. Now, yes, I'm looking at the houses, and I'm looking at, you know, what influences are up there, but then I know that, okay, Spirit's saying this to me, God's saying this to me, the universe is saying this to me. I know how to talk. And although the way that I talk is not ideal for everybody, it's what's been directed to me. And without all of you, I would not be me. So I've covered a lot in this video because I'm not going to be making videos. And so this is going to be an extremely long, drawn out video. But I just want to tell you some plans. Please leave me comments about the whole, I want to support you guys. I want to direct people to your guys' websites. I want to show off all my YouTubers to other YouTubers. And I really want to build a network where we all support each other, where we all help each other get ahead, where we all become a community, a unified bunch of people that just go out in the world and make changes. But if I'm getting this much exposure, I want to help you guys out. Even if it's people who hate me, maybe they like you, maybe they just hate me, but they love you, and they watch the whole video, and at the end they're inspired by your work, and then you make a commission off that. I mean, that's what I want to do for you guys. So thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to making more videos here in the future. I think next week I'm putting out my May forecast. Very long days, but much love to you and yours. And I look forward to touching base with you guys again soon, very soon.